Horns up and welcome to a brand new episode of Headbangers Kitchen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's raining in Mumbai city and maybe you can hear it. It's a gloomy day and I've got a hankering for spaghetti and meatballs. So today we're going to cook up a super simple, a super easy and delicious spaghetti and meatballs, and this recipe can be made keto friendly and low carb as well. So anyway, enough jibber jabber, let's get cooking. For this recipe, you can use any kind of pasta or spaghetti that you like. You can use the regular one you get in a store, you can make your own at home, you can also use the low carb and keto friendly ones. It's all up to you. If you are using the keto and low carb ones, those are pretty much ready to use, they don't need to be cooked. If you use the regular store-bought ones, then just follow the cooking instructions on the packet. It's the same for the marinara sauce. You can use any of the store-bought ones, check and see which ones fit your macros. You can use the plain tomato ones or you can get a mushroom one or one with olives, it's up to you. Of course, if you have time, you can make your own marinara sauce at home just like I have over here. You can click on the I button and get my marinara sauce recipe because it's awesome. Time to make the meatballs for our spaghetti and meatballs, and I'm going to be using a mix of ground beef and ground pork. You feel free to use any meat you like. Season your meat with some salt and some black pepper, then add in a few red chili flakes for a little bit of heat. Not too much. I'm going to throw in 1 clove of minced garlic, but you can also use garlic powder. Then I add in some fresh parsley and some fresh basil. Once again, you can use the dried stuff if you like, no problem. And then I grate in some Parmesan cheese. Once again, use any cheese that you like, but Parmesan works really well. And then I crack in 1 egg. Give everything a good mix and your meatball mixture is ready. Now it's time to shape the meatballs, and I like to be accurate, so I use a scale and I make each meatball 50 grams in weight. I also dip my hand in water to make sure the meat doesn't stick, and now it's time to make some balls. Remember, wet your hand, weigh out 50 grams of meat and then just give it a bit of rock and roll action and you'll have a ball. A meatball, that is. And our meatballs are now ready, and you can pop them in the fridge till it's time to cook them, or you can make them right away as well, no problemo. Now it's time for the spaghetti incident, which is really a meatball incident. As I heat up some oil in my pan, I place my meatballs in the pan starting from the top, going clockwise. This is how I remember which one went in first and in which order they need to be flipped. So just let them cook for a bit now without touching them. You want the meat to get nice and caramelized and develop that golden brown crust. Also, don't crowd the pan too much. If you need to, cook it in 2 batches. Anyway, it's time to start flipping these meatballs, and this is where I start to have trouble because my balls are stuck to the pan and they aren't coming off easily. So I switch over to a spoon and with great difficulty I manage to flip them all over. Now you can see that they've developed a beautiful golden crust, but some of the meatballs are cracked and they're breaking a bit, and at this point they weren't perfect, so I actually wanted to abandon filming this recipe. But you know what, I said never mind, let's get on with it and see how it turns out. You know what, not everything on YouTube needs to be camera perfect. You can see my mistakes as well. Now I decided to deglaze the pan with my marinara sauce, which I blended in my blender for a nice smooth sauce. So I pour that in, and hopefully the sauce is going to help the meatballs not stick to the bottom anymore, and it's also going to get that delicious meaty flavor. So I just cover it with the lid and cook it for about 3 to 4 minutes. After that, I pop open the lid and try to flip those balls around, and once again I struggle. I don't understand why things always stick on this pan. It's a great looking pan for camera, but my meat always sticks on it. Anyway, I managed to get my balls unstuck from the pan and everything is looking okay, minus a few broken balls. Anyway, then I throw on some fresh parsley, some fresh basil and cover it and let everything cook for 2 more minutes. After that, I remove the meatballs from the pan because if I throw the spaghetti in now and try to mix everything, I think the balls will just break and I'll have spaghetti and meat sauce instead of meatballs. Anyway, so I remove those balls from the pan and now it's time to add in the spaghetti. Now I just cooked my spaghetti by following the instructions on the packet. Throw it in a pot of salted boiling water for as many minutes as the packet says, and it's done. Anyway, I throw that spaghetti into my tomato sauce and give everything a good mix. Now I grate some Parmesan cheese on top of that spaghetti. Then I return my meatballs to the spaghetti and I garnish with some more fresh basil and fresh parsley. I grate on just a little more Parmesan cheese and my spaghetti and meatballs are finally ready. Basically, this is a super quick and easy version of spaghetti and meatballs. It's easily adaptable to any diet that you're on, whether you're on no diet, whether you're on keto, low carb, or even if you are on a high protein diet. This spaghetti and meatballs will make you happy. Anyway, now you can see a served up portion on my fancy black plate, on my fancy black slate, because that's just what I do for the photographs of the dish. But you can just put the serving dish on the table and eat it with your family. Anyway, enough jibber jabber, time to taste. Alright guys, it's time to taste my mistakes. And it's also raining outside and it's the perfect weather actually for spaghetti and my imperfect meatballs. I was a bit disappointed that some of them broke, it was sticking to the pan. Not a great day in the kitchen, but one thing I always do is I eat my mistakes. And hopefully it still tastes good. So let's dig in. Hot. Oh, that is a tasty meatball. Wow. Oh yeah. Okay, that I feel like a kid again. Seriously, this is delicious. No matter how many errors I had in the kitchen, things didn't go perfectly like I would hope them to go for camera, but you know what, I'm happy with the end result and I hope you will make this and let me know how it turns out. Anyway, I'll see you on the next episode of Headbangers Kitchen. Until then, cheers and keep cooking. Can I offer you a bite? Well, since you can't have a bite, why don't you watch some more Headbangers Kitchen videos? Click somewhere on the screen and enjoy. Yum.